How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's prediction video. It is time for the final of the Euro 2024 in Germany to kick off in Berlin. The fixture takes place on the 14th of July, that is the Sunday. The finalists, Spain and England. We start off our team analysis with Spain. The last 5 fixtures for La Roja have ended in 5 wins. Their last match was a 2-1 win against France in their semi-final clash earlier this week. In these last 5 fixtures, Spain have scored 10 goals and conceded just 3. The first player I'd like to talk about for Spain has to be Chelsea left-back Marc Cucurella. In 9 appearances for his national team, Cucurella has yet to score or assist one of his teammates, but I've been very impressed with the caliber of player that Cucurella has proven himself to be in this tournament. Coming into this one, Cucurella looked like a player who was a little bit lost on Chelsea's wing. He didn't really know what he was doing going forward, and he didn't really know what he was doing coming back either. But he really seems to have matured in buckets. Just over the course of this tournament, we're seeing a different kind of Cucurella who's more disciplined, more composed, doesn't throw himself into silly tackles unnecessarily and risk giving away free kicks or penalties. But more importantly, we've seen a Cucurella who now knows how to use his pace very intelligently. We've seen him outfox and outwit perhaps quicker players, but overall I would not be surprised to see Chelsea receive some very big offers from Europe's big names for their Spanish left-back. Next up, I want to talk Red Bull Leipzig's attacking midfielder Dani Olmo. In 38 appearances for his national team, Dani Olmo has scored 11 goals and provided 9 assists. Over time, after the injury sustained by Pedri, we've seen Dani Olmo slot into the squad and just provide answers to pretty much any problem they've come up against. If Spain are struggling to break you down in terms of passing, Dani Olmo plays a more direct style of play and runs at the opposition defenders. If Spain are struggling to connect their short passes, Dani Olmo can play crosses from out wide. He's got the pace and the technical ability to beat opposition wingbacks in 1v1 situations. But I think in Dani Olmo, Spain have also realized they have a player who's a very reliable goal scorer. This is a player who likes to take long shots, arriving late into the box from one of those wings, but he also likes to dribble in and really get in the opposition goalkeeper's face. And finally, I want to talk Barcelona's teenage sensation Lamine Yamal. In 13 appearances for his national team, the 16-year-old has scored 3 goals and provided 7 assists. Lamine Yamal is only going to be 16 until the night before the final kicks off. We forget sometimes that Lamine Yamal is just still a teenager. He plays with the intelligence of a veteran out wide. He's got the intelligence, he's got the pace, he's got the endurance and the stamina to beat Europe's quickest wingbacks. I think we saw him matched 1-for-1 against Theo Hernandez, who also is not an easy winger to get past. But Lamine Yamal did the best that he could possibly do, and Spain will really appreciate everything that he brings to the side, whether it's his creativity, his ability to score, his ability to dribble, or his ability to just change a match and turn it on its head in a split second. I think Lamine Yamal is the kind of player who really just has magic in his boots. When we look at England, the last 5 fixtures for the Three Lions have ended in 3 wins and 2 draws. Their last match was also a 2-1 win against the Netherlands in their semi-final clash. In these last 5 fixtures, England have scored 6 goals and conceded 4. So it's looking shaky at the back and it's looking pretty uninspired up front for the Three Lions right now. The first player I'd like to talk about for England has to be Arsenal central midfielder Declan Rice. In 57 appearances for his national team, Declan Rice has scored 3 goals and provided 1 assist. I think Declan Rice's ability to control a game and just overall his defensive abilities will be on show in this match in particular. It will be his role to just apply pressure on Spanish midfielders when they have the ball, to just try and win the ball back, but also to pick up any loose balls that find their way into midfield. England will really be relying on Declan Rice and his passing range and his creativity for him to be able to operate as a deep-lying playmaker and just orchestrate things from within their midfield. Next up, I want to talk Arsenal wide man Bukayo Saka. In 39 appearances for his national team, Saka has scored 12 goals and provided 6 assists. In Bukayo Saka, I think England have a player who's very quick, who's very tricky, very difficult to deal with. If you push him out wide, he'll get crosses in. If you allow him to cut in, he will take shots at your goal and probably score those shots. It's very difficult and complicated to handle a player with the talent of Bukayo Saka. But for all of his talent, Bukayo Saka has yet to set the European stage alight in this tournament. And he'll really be looking to apply himself and to put his best foot forward in this fixture. I mean, there is no better time to make a name for yourself than in the finals of a continental tournament. And speaking of making a name for yourself in a continental tournament, the next player I'd like to talk about is Real Madrid attacking midfielder Jude Bellingham. In 35 appearances for his national team, Jude Bellingham has scored 5 goals and assisted his teammates 5 times. I think Jude Bellingham has been England's best player in this tournament. He's provided assists, he's provided goals. He's just been sort of their secret weapon when the Three Lions have come up dry up front. But I think in this match in particular, all of Jude Bellingham's attacking prowess and his flexibility up front will have to take a back seat. In this one, I think he will be forced to just watch the opposition midfielders, to keep an eye on players like Dani Olmo and Fabian Ruiz, and just ensure that they don't have the freedom or the space to operate how they want to. And this is something that Jude Bellingham is capable of doing. He is capable of switching an opposition midfield off or distracting them enough to allow his teammates to get into better positions in order to receive passes or create chances for one another. When we look at the head-to-head between these two sides, the last 5 fixtures between Spain and England have resulted in 2 wins for La Roja, 2 wins for the Three Lions, and then 1 draw separating the two sides. In these last 5 clashes, Spain have scored 7 goals and England have scored 8. So we can see this is a very evenly matched and finely poised showdown between two European juggernauts. I think this match is going to be decided based on how these teams perform in certain areas of the pitch. For Spain, I think it's going to be that left-back role with Cucurella, and for England, it's obviously going to be the right-wing role for Bukayo Saka, where we will see Saka and Cucurella matched head-to-head against one another. I think for England in particular, they're going to try and flood that wing, so we'll see other naturally right-sided players like Trent Alexander-Arnold or Kieran Trippier or Kyle Walker, perhaps providing an extra body in that space to just overwhelm Cucurella, perhaps distract him with the amount of bodies in front of him, allowing somebody to just sneak past him and get into a better space. In all honesty, I think the Cucurella who plays for Chelsea really struggles in this match, but I think the Cucurella who has played for Spain in this tournament might actually have a good chance of quietening down players like Saka, Foden, or Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think centrally as well, it will be a real duel between these midfielders. We'll see Declan Rice running around, applying pressure on the ball, trying to win it back. He'll probably need a bit of assistance from players like Jude Bellingham or Trent Alexander-Arnold, or maybe even Kobe Mino if he finds himself in the starting 11. For Spain, I think that job will be down just to Rodri. Rodri is very good at reading the game. He's very good at breaking opposition attacks down. And I think that is something that he will have to do here quite often. I think, however, when it comes to Spain, they're going to want to keep the ball. They're going to want to have it, control it, dictate the tempo of the game, decide if it's played slower or quicker, and just have a wrap on everything that's happening. For England, it'll be the opposite. They'll be looking to shut Spain down in the midfield and just cause chaos out wide, isolating Cucurella and perhaps Spain's right back or their centre backs, and just trying to take them on in 1v1 situations, beat them in those situations with the talent of players like Foden and Saka or Bellingham as well, and then just try to convert whatever chances they get. I think for both of these teams, their midfield has been such a boon for both of them. However, I think England have become overly reliant on Jude Bellingham to provide them with something from the centre. When you look at Spain, they've got so many players who are willing to get out there and score goals. Ferran Torres, Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, Fabian Ruiz. These players want to score. They're hungry for goals. They're hungry for attacking play. And they're showing it out on the pitch. In terms of the centre forwards, both of these teams have underperforming centre forwards. Alvaro Morata for Spain and Harry Kane for England have not reached the heights that have been expected of them. I think just overall, Spain are looking so much better everywhere. Defensively, they're looking fantastic. In midfield, they're looking great. Up front, they're getting goals and they're making life miserable for opposition defenses. When you look at England, they're not on the same page. None of them seem to be understanding what's going on. Against Netherlands, there were flashes of that English attacking play that we usually see in the Premier League, but it hasn't come together for them at all. If we look at their route to the final, Spain have had a much more difficult route to the final. They've had to play against Croatia and Italy in the group stage. In the knockouts, they had to play against Germany and France. When you look at England, they had to play against Denmark and Slovenia and Slovakia and teams that Spain would have just run riot all over. But if you took England and put them in Spain's route, I don't think England win any of those matches actually. Spain also come into this one on a very good run of form. 5 wins out of 5 is great, but they've also become the first team in the Euros to win 6 consecutive matches. I think the Three Lions performance as a whole has left fans very divided. A lot of fans will want to support them because of their club players like Foden, Bellingham and Saka, but when you look at England as a unit, they're just very, very underwhelming. Spain have been the opposite. It's fluid, it's attractive, it's the kind of football that you want to show to aspiring young footballers to inspire them and motivate them. It kind of evokes memories of players like Xavi and Iniesta and Sergio Busquets, who at the peak of their powers were untouchable in a Spain shirt. And now we have a new breed of Spanish player like Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo and Fabian Ruiz, who have picked up the mantle, brought something new to the team, and just function so well together. For England, the promise of continental glory has been there for years, and it's just never come together. And again, I think it's resulted in a situation where everybody's just very underwhelmed by England, to the extent where a lot of people will simply be backing Spain because they feel England don't deserve to be here. I think also I'm very interested to see how German fans approach this one. Will they back Spain? Will they back England? Obviously, nobody really wants to back England, but nobody wants to back the team that knocked them out either. My final score prediction here is Spain 3, England 1. I think Spain just run riot everywhere. I think England aren't able to manage them in midfield. I think Spain are able to stretch the opposition. They're able to stretch England's defenders. I think players like Kyle Walker commit too much to going forward and leave gaps in the back. Gaps for players like Nico Williams and Dani Olmo to take advantage of. And take advantage of it they will. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time. And the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.